Hey everybody, welcome to Flatbread Friday. Being that it's the week before Thanksgiving, I wanted to play with some fun fall ingredients. So I went to the supermarket and I was looking for some butternut squash, and the only one they had was this massive guy. I hope that my knife is sharp enough to even cut that up. And I bought some fennel and some arugula and some red onion, and we're going to have a fall harvest vegetable pizza. And it's gonna be really good. Let's do it. Working on giving this thing a flat surface. Can't get my knife out. We'll keep working. We got it loosened up and we're about halfway through. Here we go. And I'm gonna use the other half of this giant squash for something else. But it looks good on the inside. Here's the side that we're going to use. Now we're going to cut it this way. We'll get there. Did it. And now we're going to peel it. So let me get my vegetable peeler. And here we go. And we're going to keep at it. I think actually this is all the squash we're going to need for our pizza. All peeled up. And now we're going to cut it into a pretty small dice. And there's what they look like. We're going to keep going until this whole piece is done. We got to escape one. Woo! Now it's fennel time. We're going to slice this up into nice thin slices. Looking good and smelling so licoricey. Wish you had smell-o-vision. We're gonna do some red onion slices next. About the same thickness as the fennel. I think that is going to be plenty. I had some rosemary and sage still in my garden. And we're now going to chop this up. We're going to toss up our vegetables in this bowl. And we're going to add in our herbs. Some salt and pepper. Toss them in. Breaking up the fennel bulbs. Come on, babies, separate. Now, here comes a little bit of olive oil. As you may have guessed, we're going to roast these veggies. And pull them up with the olive oil. Tossed up nicely. I'm preheating the oven to 400 degrees. And now we're going to transfer these veggies to a sheet pan. And they're going in the oven for about 15 minutes or so. Maybe a little less than that. We'll see how long it takes. I'll spread them out into a nice even layer. This is going to be a lot of veggies for this pizza. I think I'm going to have to use them for something else after, but we will definitely come up with something. We are now ready to go in and see what they come out like. I had a thought on my way to the oven, and what we're going to do is drizzle these with just a little bit of maple syrup. A little additional sweetness, and in we go now. Our roasted fall harvest vegetables are out of the oven, and we're going to test them for doneness by piercing them with a knife. Oh yeah, right in, right out. They're done. And now we are going to build our pizza. For this one, we're using a puffin fresh crust. We're going to pop it out of the package. Whoa. And do it on the board first. Unroll it. Oh, it's definitely going to have to be shaped. It's a weird one. So we're going to shape it up, then we're going to par bake it. Then we're going to top it up and finish it off. I've got it fitted to a baking sheet lined with parchment. And now we're going to create a little crust. We're going to roll it in a little bit. We're going to do it all the way around. Stretch this one out. I think this is the most uneven crust I've ever worked with. We're going to keep going until it's all shaped. Our crust is nicely shaped. And before I put it in the oven, I'm going to drizzle it with a little bit of this oil that we cooked our vegetables in, our maple syrup oil. Drip it on there. That's what came off the paper, and we're going to get the rest that's on the sheet pan. This is just going to give it some of that nice flavor. And this is going to be our base. I'm not really using a sauce on this one because we don't need it. So now we're just going to spread it around nice and evenly. And we're going in, we're going to par bake this crust for about 8 minutes, according to the package directions of whatever crust you're using. And now we are ready to go in and get par baked. Our crust is par baked. I'm going to even out this oil. And now we're going to top it off. Okay, the next thing that's going on is some shredded mozzarella. It's kind of stuck together. This is just going to be a white fall vegetable pizza. Because the vegetables are roasted, they're a little bit oily. So that's why we really don't need any more sauce. Our cheese is down. And now it's time for our yummy roasted vegetables. Make sure they're well blended. And we're gonna distribute them all over the place. And make a huge mess. Our veggies are on. Turns out that there wasn't too many. It was a perfect fit. And the last thing we're going to do before we bake is finish it off with a little bit of our shaved Italian 4-cheese blend. A little bit crust, a little bit of sharpness. And then we have kind of a grand finish for when this comes out of the oven. It's going to be a fun thing to do. All right, that looks like it's enough. Time to go in, probably about 15-20 minutes. And we'll see how she comes out. It's going to be a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Always was in my house. But anyway, this right here is a white balsamic vinaigrette that I made for another recipe. And what I'm going to do with this is add the rest of my maple syrup to it and make it sweet. And that's the end of that maple syrup. We're going to shake it up. And then we'll finish up this pizza when it comes out of the oven. Our fall harvest vegetable pizza is just about out of the oven. It's just got a couple more minutes. So now what we're going to do is take some arugula baby arugula. I'm going to do this with tongs, but I think I'm going to put some gloves on because it's a shallow dish. Dress our arugula with some of our white balsamic maple vinaigrette. Coat it up. This has got to go on the pizza when it's right out of the oven so that the arugula wilts a little bit. And we're all tossed up and ready to go. Let's see how done our pizza is. Our autumn harvest vegetable pizza is out of the oven. It is browned and bubbly and the crust is crispy and it smells incredible. So now we're gonna finish it off with our arugula salad. And here it comes. We're just gonna spread it around. It's gonna make a nice, tasty green, a little bit of crunch, a little bit of pepperiness. There's a whole layer of flavors. We have the licoricey fennel and the peppery arugula and the sweet butternut squash and the maple syrup. And I think that will be enough. Looking great, smelling great. Here's our close-up with our arugula topping, salad topping on. And it smells so good. And now we're gonna slice it and serve it. Here's our autumn harvest vegetable pizza on our plate. And you know I like to garnish things, so what I'm gonna do is sprinkle this with just a light sprinkle of Parmesan cheese, because we already got some Parmesan on there. And I would usually use something green, as you know, but we've already got our green arugula, and now we're gonna give it a try. I think it's gonna be real good. Thank you for joining me for our pre-Thanksgiving Flatbread Friday. I don't know if there'll be one after. I'm not going anywhere, I'm sticking around. And here we have our beautiful slice of our autumn harvest vegetable pizza. And now we're going in. So yummy, sweet and savory and tangy and cheesy, and the crust is crispy. And that's gonna make a great dinner for tonight. And using our seasonal vegetables was a lot of fun. We'll see you again soon.